So, hello students. So, in this class we will start a new chapter, that is your discrete Fourier transform, and which is noted as DFT. D stands for discrete Fourier transform. So, it is a powerful computational tool which is particularly used to find the Fourier transform in a digital computer. So, you all have studied about the Fourier transform, that is the frequency domain representation of a signal. When you analyze a signal in frequency domain, so we have to transform it into Fourier transform. So, here in digital signal processing we are dealing with discrete time signal. Hence, in order to convert the discrete time signal into frequency domain, we find discrete Fourier transform. And the major advantage of discrete Fourier transform is, since in discrete time Fourier transform, the spectrum is a continuous periodic signal. So, in digital case, we will always find the spectrum is a continuous as well as it is a periodic signal, and period is, here the period is always 2 pi. So, in discrete Fourier transform, instead of analyzing all the samples, all the spectrum, we are only going to consider only one period, and in that period we have to sample it with n number of samples. So, for example, so here always your frequency omega, we are going to replace this frequency by 2 pi by n, since 2 pi is the period and we are considering n number of samples. So, omega will replaced by 2 pi by n, where omega is the digital frequency. Omega is the digital frequency. So, instead of considering, so obviously it will take finite number of memory in your computer. So, now we will see the definition of discrete Fourier transform. That means, when we have a time domain signal given to us, how to find discrete Fourier transform. So, the definition of DFT is, we will find x of k. So, x of k means here this is your discrete Fourier transform of signal xn. So, you have a time domain signal. So, x of k is nothing but summation of n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. 0 to n minus 1, the lower limit is 0 and the highest limit is n minus 1. Hence, we are considering only n number of samples. N number of samples. N number of samples means we can see here, suppose this is a continuous signal, and just like this, we are sampling, and from this is sample number 0 and this is sample number n minus 1. Hence, 0 to n minus 1, we are considering this discrete Fourier transform. So, the limit will be n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e to the power minus of j. Remember, this is very important. In your objective question, they will ask you the definition of discrete Fourier transform. So, xn e to the power minus j 2 pi by n k n. So, both k and n. So, obviously this omega is replaced by 2 pi by n into k into n. So, you have to find here the discrete. This is the definition for your discrete Fourier transform. So, xn into e to the power minus j 2 pi by n into k into n. Let us find directly how to, if you have a given a signal in time domain, how to find its discrete Fourier transform by using this definition. So, find discrete Fourier transform of signal. So signal will be given in time domain, that is x of n is equal to suppose 1 1 0 0. So this is the two sample is given 1 1 0 0, or we can take here as this is also as 1 1 1 0 1. So here the sample is given. How many number of samples given? So we have 4 number of samples. We have 4 number of samples, and this xn is obviously a periodic signal. Xn is obviously a periodic signal. So what is the definition of discrete Fourier transform? That is x of k is equal to summation of n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So here first of all we have to see here how many number of samples is given. Here n value is 4. So here n value is 4. So we have to calculate here the 4 point DFT. That we will say if n value is 4, so we are calculating 4 point DFT. So here n is equal to 0 to, so calculate here 4 point DFT. The question will be 4. The moment you see 4 point DFT, that means the n value is 4. The n value will be 4. So n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. That means here the limit will be n is equal to 0 to 3. Then we have xn e to the power minus of j 2 pi by, again we have to put here in place of n we have to put here 4 into n into k. E to the power xn e to the power minus j 2 pi by 4 into n into k. So then we have, so first, and we know here the k value is also varying from 0 to 0 1 up to n minus 1. So here in place of n we have to put k value is also varying from 0 to n minus 1. So in place of n we have to, because we are calculating 4 point DFT, so we have to put 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So 0 1 up to 3. So again, so then obviously we have to calculate 1 by 1. First we have to calculate x of 0. So we have to calculate 1 by 1. First we have to put k is equal to 0. So then in the next step we have to calculate x of 1, x of 2, then x of 3. 4 point DFT means we have to calculate it in 4 steps. We have to and individually we have to calculate. First we have to put at k is equal to 0 what is the discrete Fourier transform, then we have to put at k is equal to 1, then you have to put at k is equal to 2, and then k is equal to 3. So n is equal to 0 to 3. Here k value is 0 means you have to put here as k is equal to 0, and we know the whole product will be 0 and e to the power 0 will be 1. xn into this whole term will be 1. So now you have to open the summation. You have to open the summation means you have to put n is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, 2 and 3. So x of 0 plus x of 1 plus x of 2 and then x of plus x of 3. So remember student, whenever you want to find the discrete Fourier transform and at origin, so which is nothing but summation of all the samples in time domain, summation of all the samples in time domain. So you can see here from the definition, one by one I have solved here. The discrete Fourier transform at origin is nothing but summation of all the samples in time domain. So what is given in time domain? We have 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1. So that means we have this value is 3. So x of 0 value is 3. Then we have to calculate again x of 1. Then we have to calculate x of 1. So x of 1 is nothing but, in place of k I am putting 1. So summation of n is equal to 0 to 3. This value is x of n. Then we have e to the power minus, this 2 and 2 cancel out. So we have e to the minus j pi by 2, and in place of k we have to put 1, hence this is as e to the power minus j pi by 2 into n. So now you have to open this summation. So first we have to put n is equal to 0. So we have x of 0, e to the power 0 means 1, so plus, then you have to open the summation, means then you have to put x of 1, e to the power again minus of j pi by 2, x of 1 e to the power minus j pi by 2, then we have plus x of 2 e to the power minus of j pi, because 2 cancel out, we have e to the power minus j pi, plus x of 3 e to the power minus of j 3 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. So then we have to see here what is the value of x of 0. We know the value of x of 0 is 1, plus, then we have in place of x of 1 we have to write here 1 into e to the power minus j pi by 2, we have to open it. So that will be cos of pi by 2 minus of j sin pi by 2, and we know the value of cos pi by 2 is 0, and j sin pi by 2 value is 1. Pi by 2 means 90 degree, cos 90 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. So whole product will be 0 minus j, that will be minus j. So then we have to write here x of 2, in place of x of 2 if you put 0, the whole product will be 0, plus x of 3, the value is 1, again we have to write here cos of 3 pi by 2 minus j sin 3 pi by 2. So 3 pi by 2 means we have 270, cos 270 and sin 270. So we have here again 1 plus cos pi by 2 value is 0 and sin pi by 2 value is 1. So the whole product will be minus j. So directly I am writing 1 minus j plus 0. Then we have plus cos 3 pi by 2 value is, obviously cos 3 pi by 2 value is 0 and sin 3 pi by 2 value is, we have sin 3 pi by 2 means sin 270, and that value will be minus 1, and that minus 1 into minus j, which is becomes plus j. So we can see here this minus j plus j going to be cancel out, and we have only the value will be 1. So x of 1 value is 1, and we have find x of 0 value is 3, x of 1 value is 1, because this minus j and plus j going to be cancel out. Cos 3 pi by 2 value is always going to be 0, because odd multiple of pi by 2 always going to give 0 value in case of your cos, and here cos sin 3 pi by 2 the value is minus 1, sin pi by 2 is 1 and sin 3 pi by 2 value is minus 1. So minus minus plus j, so plus j here minus j, that going to be cancel out, and the answer will be 1. Then we have to find this is x of 0 value, find x of 3 and x of 1 value is 1. Then we have to find here x of 2. X of 2, which is nothing but summation of n is equal to 0 to 3, and then we have to here write again x of n. Here x of 2 means only you have to put k value is 2. So here we can see here this 2 and this is cancel out, this is pi by 2. So e to the power minus of j pi by 2 into n into k value is 2. So these 2 and these 2 will be cancel out. So we have whole product as e to the power minus j pi n. So you can write here directly as e to the power minus of j pi n. So how I find this? You can see here. So obviously in place of k we have to put 2. So that 2 and that 2 will numerator 2 and denominator 2 will be cancel out, and we have remaining e to the power minus j pi n. Now we have to open the summation. So x of 2 will be equal to, summation open means always open from the lower limit and write the values, that is x of 0. So 0 is if you put 0, the whole product will be 0 and e to the power 0 value is 1. Then we have plus x of n e to the power minus of j pi plus x of 2 e to the power minus of j 2 pi plus x of 3 e to the power minus of j 3 pi. So then you have to put the value of x of 0. How to find the x of 0? Because this is the starting point. So x of 0 value is 1. X of 0 value is 1 plus x of 1 value is 1 into e to the power minus j pi. So we have to open like this, cos of pi minus of j sin pi, cos of pi minus of j sin pi plus x of 2 value is 0, so whole product will be 0, plus x of 3 value is 1, so 1 into e to the power minus j 3 pi means we have to write here that cos 3 pi minus of j sin 3 pi. So always remember cos n pi, the value will be minus 1 to the power n. Value will be minus 1 to the power n. So cos 3 pi means whenever I am going to calculate cos 3 pi, that is minus 1 whole cube, which is nothing but minus 1. But cos 2 pi value will be minus 1 square, that will be 1. So positive negative alternative that will be changed. So cos n pi is value is minus 1 to the power n, that I am going to use here. So this is 1 plus this cos pi value is obviously minus 1, because minus 1 to the power 1 is minus 1. So 1 minus 1. Then we have sin pi value 0, so no need to worry about it. So plus 0. Then we have cos 3 pi, again we have value is minus 1. Cos 3 pi value is minus 1 and sin 3 pi value is 0. So this 1 minus 1 will be cancelled out and 0 minus 1, the answer will be minus 1. So x of 2 value is minus 1. X of 2 value is minus 1. X of 2 value is minus 1. Then we will find x of, and the final value is 3, x of 3. Because it is a 4-point DFT means we have to calculate only 4 discrete Fourier transform. 4 discrete Fourier transform. First one is x of 0, then we have x of 1, then we calculate x of 2, and now we are going to calculate the final sample Fourier transform, that is x of 3. The k value is 3 means now you all know how I am calculating, that is n is equal to 0 to 3, x of, this is n, again e to the power minus of j, this pi by 2 into k means you have to write directly write e to the power minus j 3 pi by 2 into n, because k value I am putting the value is 3. Then we have to write here as you have to open the summation now. So x of 0 plus x of 1 e to the power minus of j, in place of n we have to put 1, hence e to the power minus j 3 pi by 2 plus x of 2 e to the power minus of j 3 pi, because in place of n I am putting 2, so 2 to cancel out, e to the minus j 3 pi plus x of 3 we have e to the power minus of j 9 pi by 2, 9 pi by 2. Then we have to write here x of 0. The value of x of 0 is 1 plus the value of x of 1 is 1, and then we have here again we have to open this e to the power minus j 3 pi by 2, that is cos of 3 pi by 2 minus of j sin 3 pi by 2, and cos 3 pi by 2 value is 0, and we have here 0 minus again minus of 3 pi by 2, that means plus j, because sin 3 pi by 2 value is minus 1 and minus minus plus j, directly I am writing, plus again cos x of 2 value is 0, so no need to calculate that, so whole product will be 0. Then we have x of 3, the value is 1, and we have cos 9 pi by 2, so cos odd multiple of pi by 2 means that value will be 0, and then we have sin minus of j sin 9 pi by 2, that means that will be going to give you minus of j, that will going to give you minus of j, because sin 9 pi by 2 value is 1. Now we have 1 plus j, and then we have minus j, so this j cancel out, we have the value is 1, so x of 3 value is 1. So you can see here one thing, the value of x of 0 means sum of all the samples, then we have x of 1 is going to be calculated, and x of 2 and x of 3. So the 4-point DFT, that is x of k for this discrete Fourier transform, the question will be given like this, find the 4-point DFT for the signal x of n is this, and we have to find, and the x of k will be 3 1 minus 1, and again we have 1 3 1 minus 1 1. So this is all about your discrete Fourier transform, how to find by using the definition. There is also some shortcut method also, that is your matrix method, that I will teach you how to calculate the 4-point DFT by using matrix method.